Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope right now those are watching this tutorial having good health. May peace be upon you all. The title of this video and the tutorial is basically Locomotion, Firmness and Locomotion following the SSC level biology English version. So students of English version right now, if you're watching this video, think that why the title of this chapter is Firmness and Locomotion. What is the meaning of it and what we need to study? And after the whole chapter, when we'll study, what should be our things to remember? That is our skeletal system, human skeletal system. I have written some names of our bones, which you might know that there is 206 bones, but humans at birth it has 300 bones, but when it reaches its adulthood, some bones fuses together and then you got 206 bones in our body. Why this is called locomotion? Because animals moves from one place to another place in search of what? Animals moves. This is one type of its character, that animal moves from one place to another. So when it moves in search of food, in search of protection, and in search of breeding. This is very important. So when animals moves from one place to another in search of food, protection and breeding, that is called locomotion, the change of the placement. And the system which is allowing this, the system which is made up of like mesoderm, origin, spatial type of connective tissue like bones and cartilage, this system is called skeletal system. And this system is composed, actually two systems intermingled in between these, that is skeletal system and muscular system. So together we will study that skeletal system and in between muscular system. So these two systems are intermingled so that it gives some sort of like, what is skeletal system? The system which origins from the mesoderm and it is spatial type of connective tissue, gives the structure of an animal body, gives a structure and holds and protections the soft organs, provides the surface for muscle attachment, that is called skeletal system. So simply, in case of skeletal system, if you want to define that skeletal system do what? Number one, it's build the structure, what? Body structure. Number two, it protects soft organs, like it protects our brain, the cranium, the skeletal system, the part of cranium is protecting our brain, the thoracic cage is protecting our lungs, our heart, diaphragm, we have kidneys, liver, stomach, these are the soft organs. So our skeletal system is giving the protection and bearing our weight. So protects soft organs. Number three, provide surface for muscle attachments. Simply in case of defining skeletal system, we can say mesoderm, origin, spatial type of connective tissue. This is also important. Number four, mesoderm, originated spatial types of connective tissues. You know that in our body, I mean animals, we have 4 type of tissues, that is epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nerve tissue. So in coordination with this skeletal tissue and muscular tissue, animals is able to relocate one place to another. It's able to movement. So that is why this is called locomotion. I mean, when animals move from one place to another in search of food, protection and breeding, this is called locomotion. And the system which is helping and allowing these, and also this activity, we should remember that in case of defining skeletal system, this is mesoderm originated special type of connective tissue which is giving us a shape, bearing our weight, providing the surface for muscle attachment and protects our soft organs. This is called skeletal system. Now if we look closely that what are the types of skeletal system, then we find that there are 2 types of skeletal system. You might think that it might be like exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Okay, so skeletal system, if we primarily think that skeletal system is divided into 2 parts, that is exoskeleton. So what is the meaning of exo? That is exoskeleton, and the other one is endoskeleton. This exo, that means outside. So the part which is visible from outside, that is like our nails, our hairs. So these hairs and nails, this is actually exoskeleton because this is visible from outside, but inside we cannot see the bones and cartilage inside. So those skeleton are actually inside, like bones and cartilage. This is endoskeleton, and exoskeleton, the skeleton of outside, that nails and hairs. In other cases, skeletal system also can be divided into 2 types. That is the important thing. Considering the axis of human body, if you think about the human skeletal system, considering the axis of a body, then we might find that there are 2 types of skeletal system. Number 1, axial skeletal system, and number 2 is appendicular skeletal system. So number 1, that is axial skeletal system, which is situated based on the axis, and the second one is appendicular skeletal system. So now, right, we have to think very clearly and closely that what is axial skeletal system and what is appendicular skeletal system. I have given 2 different color line. This one is axial and this one is appendicular. Axial means, if you think closely, that in the middle of our body, what we have, the names of the bones is definitely important to remember. So students, those who are actually targeting to study the medical science, those who are actually having a dream to be a doctor, this could be the first touch. I mean, thinking about anatomy, to study the things very seriously regarding the bones and cartilage and all other things. Think about this picture. This one. Let's start with a picture. This one is sort of like human skeletal system. So now you think what you are watching here. This is very common, you can find it in the Google. Think about this one is the cranium. So if you see the axis of a human body, this part is called the axial skeletal system. So now you see this is cranium and this is the orbit where actually our eyes lie, then maxilla and mandible, some sort of like bones are given, but I will definitely give you the detail of each part of it. You see that cranium, we have 8 bones, but here you are seeing here that this is the cranium. Our brain is situated here, so this is cranium. So from outside, and this is the lateral view and this is the frontal view. So from the lateral view you see that the part, this one is mandible, and the other part, that is called maxilla. And you see the cranium, the orbit, the maxilla and mandible. Now you see the part that is actually the backbone, or we see its vertebral column situated backside. And you see there is a beauty bone or collarbone that is called clavicle. We have thoracic cage. This part is called the ribs. The hand, we have the bones is called humerus, and the other side, this one is called radius and ulna. This is carpal, metacarpal and phalanges. Now we see the longest bone of our body, that is femur. We have patella, we have radius, tibia and fibula, we have tarsal, metatarsal and phalanges. So the name of the skeletal system, we must remember the names of all these activities. And then now you see that what we have: cranium, we have 8 bones. Facial bones, we have 14 facial bones. Ear ossicles, we have 3 bones inside our ear, that is called malleus, incus, stapes. 3 bones, very tiny bones, is actually situated inside of the mid-ear. 3 bones, which is helping for hearing. We are actually hearing things with the help of the simple vibrations of these bones. These 3 bones, smaller bones, that is called malleus, incus and stapes. Hyoid bones, another bone. So you see that in these cases together we have 206 bones. So this is the axial skeleton. We have axial skeletons. We have at least 80 bones in axial skeleton. Together we have total 80 bones. If you see the vertebral column, like backbone of our body, we have 33 bones at first, and then it fused together to form 26 bones in adulthood. And we have thoracic cage, our chest thoracic cage, we have 25 bones. That is 12 ribs in the right side and 12 ribs in the left side, and in between we have sternum. So this together 25 bones, that is called thoracic cage. So these cranium, facial bones, ear ossicles, hyoid bones, vertebral column and thoracic cage, these are all axial skeleton. And now think about our 2 hands and 2 legs. We have 2 legs normally, we have 2 hands normally. So in these hands we have 30 bones and 30 bones each, that is total 60. In our 2 legs we have 30 bones and 30 bones in 2 legs. So altogether in our hands we have 30 bones like this. Forelimb, hand, we have 30 bones in each side. So together we have 2 bones, two hands and 2 legs, so 60 and 60, altogether 120 bones in our forelimb and hind limb. This is called limb because it's situated upper side, that is called upper limb, hand, and the hind limb is called legs. 2 legs, 30, 30, 60. We have pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle, 2 different things. So I'll definitely give you an idea that in case of pectoral girdle, what we say pectoral girdle, the pectoral girdle means that you see the scapula. You can see this one, scapula, then the back side, and in front we have clavicle. These 2 bones is called the pectoral girdle. And you see the pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle is actually this one. We have 2 bones. Number 1, this one and this one. This is called hip bone, H-I-P, hip bone in both sides. This is called pelvic girdle. So now you see that what we have in this case, ear ossicles, we have 3 bones, smaller bones, malleus, incus, stapes. In vertebral column, we have 5 types of vertebral column. 5 types of vertebra. Number 1, that is, if we divide vertebra, then we'll find that that is number 1, cervical, number 2, thoracic, number 3, lumbar, number 4, sacral, and number 5, coccygeal. So this is the name of vertebra. We have 5 different types of vertebra. Like in front, here we have vertebra that is called cervical vertebra, and we have 7 cervical vertebra. In case of thoracic, we have 12 thoracic vertebra, and we have 12 ribs in each side. So 12 ribs in the right side and left side. So all these ribs are attached in back side with these 12 thoracic vertebra. And then after we have lumbar vertebra, where we have 5 vertebra. In case of sacral, we have 5, and in case of coccygeal, we have 4. So altogether, what happens when this vertebral column fuses together? Then what happens? These 5 and 4 vertebral column fuses together and they form single, that is called 1 and 1. So we have sacral 1 and coccygeal 1. So now you can count the 12 and 7 is 19, 19 and 5 is 24, and then we have 2, that is 26 vertebra when we reach our adulthood. But previously we have 33 bones, that is called vertebra in our backbone, that is called vertebral column. So simply, if we see the vertebral column, we'll find that there are 5 types of vertebra, and I can show you a simple thing, that this vertebra looks like this one. This vertebra looks like this one. You see, this one is the atlas. This is the first vertebral column, vertebral bone, the first vertebra. This is called atlas. This one also another, and this is called vertebral prominence. This is another type of vertebral column, and this is lumbar vertebra, this is thoracic vertebra. You see the structure, and our bones in vertebral column looks like this, So there are a lot of studies that we have to study when we will reach APC level or O level study, or when I'll explain this skeletal system more detail. I need to draw a lot of things, I have to show a lot of things, but I'm just giving you an idea, because students of English version, if you are studying, right now any student of class 9 and 10 is watching this tutorial, you might think that what are the shapes of it. Even you can Google, you can see. The pectoral girdle, we have 2 bones, that is called collarbone, clavicle, and we have 2 bones in back side, that is called scapula. So we have 2 bones front and 2 bones back, clavicle, scapula. So 2 clavicle and 2 scapula form the pectoral girdle. Forelimb, that is our hand. Now think about our hand. We have 30 bones each of our hand and 30 bones in each of our legs, that is called hind limb and forelimb. Now look closely that we have our arms, right? Arms. So here we have the bones, that is called humerus. So we have 1 humerus, another humerus, 2 humerus. So right now here we have 2 bones, that is radius and ulna. Radius and ulna. Similar way, radius and ulna. Now you see that this joint, we have 8 bones here. We have 8 bones here also. So these 2 hands consist of 8 and 8, 16 bones together. This is called carpal. And in our palm, we have 5 bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bones. That is called metacarpal. This is metacarpal. So we have 10 bones together to form metacarpal, and we have our fingers, and inside we can do a lot of things because we can bend it, we can catch it very, we can do a specific things clearly because we have 14 phalanges in our both hands, 14 and 14. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So total 14 phalanges in right hand and 14 phalanges in left hand. So 28 phalanges together to form the both arms. So we have humerus, radius ulna, carpal, metacarpal phalanges. Okay, humerus, radius ulna, carpal, 8 bones, metacarpals and phalanges. Now you think simply, there are 4 limbs. So we have 4 limbs, that is hand. We say it 4 limbs. 4 limbs, that is hand. So we have humerus. We have radius. We have ulna. We have carpals. We have metacarpal and phalanges. Okay, so now you count the number of our 4 limbs that we have. Humerus, 2 hand, so 2 humerus. Radius, 2 hand, so 2 radius. Ulna, 2. Carpal, 8 each hands, so that is 16. Metacarpal, 5 each hand, so that is 10. And phalanges, 14 each hand, that is called 28. So if you count, we will find 60. So altogether we have 60 bones in our 4 limbs. So you can remember the names periodically and do not miss humerus, radius ulna, carpal, metacarpal and phalanges. Now we think about the hind limb. So in case of hind limb, we have legs. So there are a little change in this case because what is the change? In case of legs, we have the strongest bone and the largest bone, that is femur. So we have femur, and then after in our knee we have 2 circular bones, that is called patella. So we say that is patella. Then we have tibia, we have fibula, we have tarsal. In case of our 4 limb we say carpal, but in case of hind limb we say tarsal. So similarly this is metatarsal, and at last this is phalanges. So now you count again that in case of femur, what we have? 1 each side. So femur we have 2, patella we have 2, tibia 2, ulna 2, tarsal is not 8, is actually 7 in both cases. So we have 2 legs, so 14 tarsal, similar way 10 metatarsal and 28 phalanges. Now you count, that is together 60. So we have 60 bones in 4 limbs and hind limbs, and you must remember the names of the bones. I'm not drawing each of them, but that is definitely needed. We have to draw. We need to know how to draw each bones of. Right now I have written here, and definitely here a lot of other bones we have to draw. That is a part of another classes and long classes required. But I'm right now requesting you, all those who are watching this tutorial, please write down all the names of the bones. We have 206 bones and need to know which part are they. So you must remember, I have written in a periodic way, that is, this is called axial skeleton. So remember, this is called axial skeleton. Axial skeleton. So in our axial skeleton, what we have cranium, we have facial bone, we have ear ossicles, malleus, incus, stapes, we have hyoid bone, we have vertebral column, which is 26. So we have 5 different types of vertebra: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccyx. So we say cervical vertebra 7, thoracic vertebra 12, lumbar vertebra 5, sacral, previously it was, in our childhood it has 5, but when it fuses it 1, and then coccygeal 1. So together 26 bones form the vertebra. And thoracic cage, we have 25 bones, that 12 ribs right side and 12 ribs left side, and in between, in front, we have sternum. So we have ribs. In this case, vertebral thoracic cage, we have ribs 24 in each side, and we have one sternum. So pectoral girdle, what is this? Clavicle and scapula. This is called clavicle and scapula. So these 2 bones forms the pectoral girdle. So we have 2 clavicle each side and 2 scapula in the back side. So total 4. And the forelimb, I just wrote right here, pelvic girdle, that is hip bone. We say this is hip bone, pelvic girdle, hip bone, because these bones, hip bones, our waist, we have 2 plate-like bones, and here it has 3 different aspects, 3 different parts, that is ilium, ischium and pubis. So our hip bone, it has 3 different parts, but it forms 2 different bones. We count as a 1 and 1 bones each side, 2 bones, but it has 3 different 3 different parts. So ilium, ischium and pubis. So pubis connected together to form the pubic symphysis. So that is, I'll explain later on, but in this video I am trying to remain in the primary level. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of the human skeletal system. So as we are studying the firmness and locomotion, we need to know that what are the topic we have to study. We need to study about bones and cartilage. That would be the second video. This is the first one. I tried to give you an idea regarding the names of the bones and some sort of structures, not actually structures. I was showing the picture from books, which is also available in Google. Next video would be bones and cartilage, because bones is a modified versions of a connective tissue and cartilage is special type of connective tissue. Bones are very strong, the matrix are strong because the presence of calcium, and in bones it has 40% organic and 60% inorganic components. Inside we know that there are 3 types of cells of bones, that is called osteocyte, osteoblast and osteoclast. So we'll study about bones. Definitely there are several types of bones, like we can say this is compact bone and spongy bone. Then we need to study about cartilage. Cartilage is a different kind of connective tissue which is not strong. This is flexible and soft. The matrix is made up of chondrine, and the cells of this cartilage is called chondrocyte. So we need a different class, a different explanation. That is why I do not explain it here. And then we have to study about muscle. So the activity of muscle, because we have to know about tendon and ligament, because we studied that bones are connected together to form the bone joints. So how it forms? Because these 2 bones are connected with a strong connectivity, and this is called tendon. When 2 bones connect together with a rope-like structure, that is called tendon, and when muscle attached with the bone, that is called ligament. So these 2 structures we need to know a little bit more, and the differences between tendon and ligament. After that, there are 2 different disease that has been discussed: osteoporosis and rheumatoid arthritis. There are two different things. Definitely it's simply understandable that is related with bones decay, because we know that regularly our bones is decaying and forming. But in our adulthood, in our childhood, it's growing repeatedly. I mean, the formation of bones rate is much higher than the decay. But when age increases, after the decay of bones is huge, because the main source, I mean the main thing that forms the formation of bones is calcium and vitamin D. So these things should be explained in the later on. So this is the first tutorial. I'm just giving you an idea, a very simple idea. So after watching this tutorial, please let me know if you have any recommendations, and the way I'm giving my lectures, if you have anything, please let me know so that I can make it more better in near future. So see you on the next tutorial on bones and cartilage, and then after I'll make a tutorial on muscular system or muscle, and then I'll study about the two different diseases, osteoporosis and rheumatoid arthritis. So see you on the next tutorial. Stay well.